Hi guys, how are you doing? Happy Tuesday. So I think it's still getting set up. My laptop sounds like it's working very hard. Okay, hi, happy Tuesday. I hope you're doing well today. Once again, since it's Tuesday, I'm doing a live where I'll share with you stuff about writing more effectively for your business, specifically if you're a bookkeeper, and just like content marketing, writing strategies to help make writing easier, better, have more effect, things of that nature. Anyways, so today I'm super excited to share something with you that I should have found a lot sooner, but that has been very helpful for me. So copywriters have been dealing with the problem of trying to come up with content over and over and over again. So because they've been dealing with that for decades, they've seen certain formulas that work better than others, and they've seen how much time they save sticking to a kind of formula. So today I'm going to throw some very useful alphabet soup your way. I'm going to share some of my favorite acronyms, essentially, that there's out there, and also the favorites of people that I follow, respect, and love their marketing work. So anyway, so what I mean by copywriting formulas is, for example, I have something like right here. It's just a layout of things you want to include in your posts. So it, instead of trying to figure out what to put in a blank page, it basically gives you an outline of what to go through. And usually it's an acronym form. So for example, one of the ones I'm going to share with you today, the acronym is PAS. So it's super easy to remember. And the P is for pain, the A is for agitate, the S is for solution. And there's a way to fill that in, but that's an easy way to help break what you're writing down into something that's proven to be very effective, very persuasive. And I have a few of those for you. But it's a really good starting point. It gets past that whole blank page, don't know what to write thing, stuff like that. So again, these formulas are big time savers. They're battle tested. That's what's good about this stuff. This has been a problem that copywriters have been dealing with decades, coming up with a lot of persuasive content quickly. And they have seen over time, okay, this structure seems to work. There is a kind of formula. And once again, for my bookkeeper friends who, work with me and watch my videos, most bookkeepers like a very clear route of doing things. So consider this your writing checklist when it comes to writing for your business. It gives you a formula to go against. So in these formulas, I kind of have them broken out into 3 categories because they all act a little differently. I am going to share with you the formulas. So that's the stuff that is, like I said, the PAS, the acronym that spells out exactly what to put where in order. So it's not, so if anyone has like my content membership, it's not as structured as that. In my content membership, I basically am giving you Mad Libs for your business, where I show you the blanks and help you fill them in, right? The formula just shows you add this part here, add this part here, add this part here, and it gives you the letters in an order so that you include those. Another category I'll share with you is blueprints. So it's really good. It's not as specific as the acronyms, as the formulas. So it's a looser guide, but it gives you a list of things you can include. So if you're someone who likes more of a rigidly laid out what to put where, it may not be the best for you, but if you're looking to expand, fill out, try different strategies, blueprints might be a good way for you to go, especially if you feel more comfortable with writing. And then the third kind that I'll share with you, it's also acronyms, but it's a checklist. So once again, it's like this. And basically, it's just trying to make sure that you're adding the right things into your content, right? So the 4 U's, when you're looking at something you're about to share, you can ask yourself, is it useful? Did I write it in a way that makes it urgent? Am I talking about something in a unique way? Am I being ultra specific? So for example, with ultra specific, if you said, save a lot of money, you can try and get ultra specific. And with ultra specific, you can be like, okay, save an average of, I help my clients save an average of $4,972. Specificity really works. So that's what I'm saying. Some of these lists are checklists. And so in the same way where if you're reconciling your accounts, everything zeroes out. So consider those checklists you're zeroing, you're double check. Is everything that I need included in there, right? All right, so that's where we'll get started. That's where I'll jump in. And so I'll start right away with 3 formulas that I really like. I've used them in my content. I've seen other people that I really respect use them. And I've got 3 letters. I'm actually gonna try and write this out for you, but that's easier for you, right? So the first one, as I already said, is PAS, okay? PAS. So with PAS, this is something, if you guys have heard of Copyblogger, it's one of their favorites. They say that this is a very good one to include on your social media. Can you see this? Ah, you can. Okay, great. Now can you see me? La, la, la. There we go. All right, PAS. P is for pain or problem. A is for agitate. So you're agitating the problem. And S is for solution. So this is something that people like to use on social media, especially Copyblogger. So once again, this is all stuff that kind of trickles down from knowing your clients really well, right? You want to know what keeps them up at night. What are your clients' problems, right? You want to be able to put your finger on one of those problems. Are they getting tax fees? Are they getting overdraft fees? Whatever the problem is, put your finger right on it and then agitate it. Talk about more what would happen or if it doesn't get solved. And then you present the solution. If you don't want to deal with this problem anymore, here's what you can do. Now if you do that in a value post, that's providing an article or tips. If you're doing more of a sales post, it can be like, I can help you avoid this, things of that nature. So you can do this in very small chunks. So the article I found, and I have it linked here in the description, if being visual is better for you, whatever. This article is fantastic. It's got tons of stuff. It's a bit of an overkill, but it's got tons of stuff. So PAS, you can do it in little tiny chunks, even in Twitter posts. And the example they had there is stuck staring at a blank blog post. Once again, there's the problem. You're staring at a blank blog post. They know that they're talking to someone who struggles writing blog posts. Let writer's block win again. So that's the agitation. They're kind of doubling down. It's just like they put one finger on it, 2 fingers on it. It's just like you can let that keep screwing with your life, or start fighting back, find out how. So that's how that was. They pointed out the problem, they brought attention to what would happen if it continued to be a problem, and then they added a link telling you this is how you can stop that, okay? You can do this in emails, you can do this in blogs, you can do this long form, short form. It's very simple. You don't have to overthink it. Pick a problem that your clients feel and go from there, okay? So, once again, PAS. Pick a problem, agitate it, and solve it or give a solution to it. PAS. All right. Here's another one that's also simple. By the way, there's like some crazy acronyms out there. This one was just like, it has like 10 letters. I'm not going to share that with you because it's completely unnecessary, but it makes me laugh. Okay, so BAB. Okay, if you guys, I know you guys use Buffer. Like Buffer, they do a social media post for you, right? So BAB, this is a good one. Make sure it's in there. Can you read it? Yeah. All right, BAB. So this one's easy as well. Before, after, and bridge. BAB, before, after, and bridge. So you are painting a picture for them. You're talking about their before, here's your world now, and then you're talking about their after, what will happen after they get a solution. Imagine what it'd be like having this problem solved for you, right? And then bridge, which is just another word for solution. Again, a lot of these alphabet soup things have similarities, but if one of these works best for you or the acronym sticks best for you, great. But as you can see, there's a formula and they kind of overlap. Anyways, before, here's your world now. After, imagine what it'd be like having problem A solved. And bridge, here's how you get to that solution. Here's how you get to that better world. And so another thing to keep in mind is if it's a product, great, share with them the product. If it's your service, if it's you as a mentor, you can be a part of that bridge. I can help get you there, okay? It's super simple. Once again, you can do this in any length of content. Again, the article that I have here, it talks about in Twitter sizes. Can't get smaller than that, right? So once again, here's your world now. Imagine what it would be like having it solved. Here's how to get there. So in a Twitter post, here's an example. Creating social media images takes time. That's the now. Imagine cutting 1 hour into 15 minutes. Oh, that's the after. And then here's how, right? Oops. Here's how, right? So once again, before, creating social media images takes time. After, imagine cutting an hour down to 15 minutes. Here's how, the bridge. You're telling them how they can solve it, right? It's good stuff. Very simple. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated. Like I said, if you guys use Buffer, the social media posting platform, this is their favorite way to do things. They like this one. All right, now I have another one. So that's PPPP. I think you can remember this one. All it is just 4 Ps. And actually, there's a woman I know who used to be a copywriter. She now does coaching. I didn't realize how, like, there was a formula she used I really admired, and then I realized what she was doing is she was using these 4 Ps, okay? Once again, it's not hard. You don't have to overcomplicate it. You just follow the steps in the order they give it to you. So you remember how in the previous one we were talking about how you're painting the picture of afterwards? That's a common theme. You're going to see that. So similarly, PP, first P is picture. Paint a picture that gets attention and creates desire, okay? The second P, make a promise. Show them and describe how your product, service, idea will deliver on the picture, on getting to that picture. Number 3, prove it. Give support for your promise. Share a testimonial, share stats from your business, prove it, okay? And then 4, push. Just another word for your call to action. Ask them to commit, tell them what to do, right? So picture, promise, prove, and push, okay? Super easy. So once again, the example on Twitter, you're trying to paint a picture. No more late night ice cream runs. Groceries delivered to your door 24/7. See more here, okay? You are showing them, okay, I don't have to go to the grocery store anymore. That's great. How can I, and then like, oh, because they'll be delivered straight to my door. And then in the Twitter feed, they provide the link so that, it's hard to get all of this sometimes, like in a small social media post, but you get the idea. You talk about the benefit, you talk about the place they want to be very specifically, and you show them how you can help them do that. You prove that you can help them do that. You can do that by laying out your process. You can do that by showing how you've helped other people, and you ask them to commit. Click here to find out more if it's a short post, things of that nature. So once again, PP. Just write it all out on your little, your Google Doc, whatever, and you just go through it step by step. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be complicated. This stuff really works. I've seen the woman who introduced me to this, I've seen her use it over and over and over again in her longer form social media posts. Very successful. It really definitely works. Okay, so once again, we had 3 letters. We had BAB, which is before, after, and bridge. We had PAS, pain, agitate, solution. And we had PPPP. That one you probably remember best. Picture, promise, prove, and push, okay? So that's if you're trying to write something step by step, right? If you want something that's more open, if you do those formulas for a while and feel like you need to mix things up, one really good way to do things, so once again, I'm moving into this like blueprint part of what I'm talking about. You whatever you're writing about, try and leave a cliffhanger. Try and leave something unanswered in what you write. Think of it in the same way. It's called an open loop. Like, psychologically, we want resolution. And if you don't give that to them in their post, and you give them a reason to keep following and click through and keep talking to you, it draws them in. It gets their attention. It gets them engaged with you. So think of, like, cliffhangers at the end of like a season of TV. It's just like, I gotta come back to the next season, or like Netflix baiting you into the next episode. Well, I gotta see what happens next. So don't tell them what happens next. Let them know that it's interesting, and if they come here, they can find out. This is another interesting one. So I grew up with Reader's Digest in my parents' house all the time. It was always, in full honesty, on the back of the toilet. But a really prominent copywriter, he went through and realized there's lots of stuff in a Reader's Digest writing blueprint. He noticed that there's patterns to how they write stuff. They include things that are fact-packed. They are telegraphic, which means short sentences. You don't want to do long sentences. They're specific. Once again, we keep coming back to specific, ultra specific. Don't say some, don't say a lot. Try and do actual numbers, get really specific. It feels very convincing. There aren't many adjectives. Action words, verbs are more powerful, and they arouse curiosity. Remember that thing I just said about the open loop? It leaves something more to be desired. And one way you can do that, if you're telling a story about your business, about a client, think about any Quentin Tarantino movie you've seen. The story starts in the middle, and that's something that he noticed in these Reader's Digest stories. Maybe not in the Tarantino sense, but a great story begins in the chaotic middle. And so you're thrown into the scene, and you're trying to figure out what's going on, but you're interested enough to engage in the story. So this is something, this is an example that he gave. Once again, these can be very condensed. From this blueprint, the example they gave was 53% of internet users, so very specific, 53%, right, have never shared to social. That aroused your curiosity, right? That seems unusual. And then the next line is, learn how they spend their time online. So you're curious, you're not sure why. It's enough to get you to click through, right? So that's like the blueprint. There are other things you can do as well, but I figured you guys have probably read Reader's Digest before. Anyways, all right, now I want to go over a couple of the checklist stuff. Again, these are acronyms as well. And it's more for not writing the content itself, but double checking it. Because sometimes, that's something that frustrates me too as a writer. It's just like, did I get this right? This helps you double check, okay, I think I got this right this time. So one of them, I already had written out because it's above my computer, the 4 U's. Is it in focus? Yep. You want to look at your content when you're done with it, and you want to double check, is what you wrote useful to your client? Does it provide some type of urgency? So for example, one way that I do that is, call today, if it's a call to action button. If you have a program and you're running out of seats, you can talk about how there's only 5 seats left and they're going quickly. Unique is a good one. I know that's something that that bookkeepers and accountants sometimes struggle with. But I would say if you're struggling to put something unique into it, put more of yourself into it. Try and find something personally unique about you. Do you like to hike? Are you particularly snarky? Whatever it is, if you can't find the uniqueness necessarily in your profession, try and find it in yourself. Everyone's unique. And then also be ultra specific. Again, we're going back to that specific thing. Don't say some, don't say a lot. Say 476. It feels legitimate. It gets attention. So this will help you go back. So if you did say a few or not too many, you can go back and make it more specific. If you didn't add a timeline to it, you can go back and add that urgency. So another good thing to double check yourself is ask why in 3 different ways. Why are you the best? Why should I, the reader, believe you? And why should I buy right now? Why is a very important thing to answer in your posts, And if you're really trying to make one that's super persuasive, you need to answer those whys for them. Why are you the best? I have to prove that, I'm the best, and sometimes I do that by saying I worked as a bookkeeper for 10 years, so that sets me apart. Maybe they're curious about my writing experience. I have a journalism degree, so that's part of what makes me the best. Maybe you have something else. Maybe you put extra time in with your clients. For those of you who, oh my lord, I'm blanking on this. Your unique selling point, USP, there it is, got it. If you have that nailed already, add that. Make sure that you try and add that in some way. What makes you unique? And then also, why should I believe you? Where's the proof? Show me the proof. Once again, those other formulas I told you, proving that you can do something, showing your results, that's a big thing. So once again, why should I believe you? This is one of the reasons why I encourage people to share their testimonials. It's a really good way to have other people vouch for you easily. Why should I believe you? Maybe you do a service that you saw a statistic recently. Well, 40% of businesses go under because of not reconciling books. I'm making something up. You can talk about how those statistics from someone else is connected to your work, right? And then also, why should I buy right now? Once again, call to action button, limited seats, limited opportunity, things like that. I'm booking up fast. I only have 4 spots left. Again, be specific. Be specific on the buy right now. So I like the Twitter example they gave for like the 3 reasons why. Trusted by 70% of Fortune 500 companies to take the daily headaches out of HR. Okay, trusted by 70%, that's high. Of Fortune 500 companies, yeah, that's very authoritative, right? To take the daily headaches out of HR. So once again, there's those elements in there. You're answering the why. Why you, why your product. Now there are, like I said, bananas checklists, but they can be good sources of inspiration. You don't have to use all of it, but it's kind of a list of things. This is like complete nonsense. AICPBSAWN. It's ridiculous. It's completely garbled. Attention, interest, credibility, proving that what you're claiming is true, benefits that you give, scarcity with time or resources, action, telling them what to do, warning if they don't take action, helping them motivate to take action now. Once again, there's a million acronyms, a million formulas, a million tools out there. I like this long one because it's a good one for inspiration. It's just like, okay, I haven't talked about scarcity in a while. Okay, I do have a limited number of seats that I can offer to one-on-one clients this month, so I can talk about that. So kind of, once again, you're not reinventing the wheel. You're pulling these resources from people who've been doing this for decades, have tested it for decades, and these elements are all things that work. It all comes together. You don't have to just create everything completely from scratch. You can work from these formulas and build off of them. It's such a big leg up, and it helps so much. So, anyways, once again, just to go over these one more time. Let's see if we get you in focus here. BAB, okay. BAB, what's that? Before, after, and bridge. This is where you are now. This is where you can imagine your life being, and this is how I can help get you there, right? And then also PAS, pain, agitate, solve. Here's your problem, here's why it's really a problem, and here's how I can help you solve it, right? It's good stuff. Super easy, not hard. You can do most of these in a Twitter post. You really can. And then once again, super easy, P. Picture, promise, prove, and push. Paint them a picture. So once again, you're imagining their future. Give them a promise. Describe how your product will deliver. Prove it. Testimonials, backups. Again, show that you can do it. And then push. It's just a fancy way of saying, not even fancy, different way of saying call to action. Tell them what to do next. Tell them how to follow up. Tell them what they need to do to get this and how you can be a part of it, right? So, anyways. That should be, I I hope, a very big leg up for you guys. Once again, I found these much later than I should have, but now that I have them, it's really, really helpful. Again, I'm pulling a lot of these from an article I found. It's super helpful if you're more visual like me. I have the link in the description. There are lots of other formulas out there, so if these don't work for you, try and find something else that does. You don't want to, I want you to preserve your brain power for the things you really like doing, which probably isn't writing content. So try and find something that will help give you a step up, that keeps you from starting at the blank page every single time. And also, keep in mind, one of the most frustrating things about this is that even though I'm giving you formulas, the same formulas don't work for every platform or every person or every industry. You may have to play around a little bit and see what works, and I wish I could give you, as always, a silver bullet, but there is a little bit of feeling out what works for you and what works for your audience. It's not quite the same for everyone, but this is a starting point. This will help. This is better than starting from zero. This is better than having nothing, for sure. Again, these are time-tested, hard-nosed copywriter formulas that should get you a long way in coming up with ideas and being persuasive and helping move people towards your world and you being able to help them. All right, that is what I have today, a whole bunch of alphabet soup. I hope that helped. Again, I love this article on the side. Look it up. It's got 10,000 ideas. Give it a look. It will help you get started as a really good springboard. Anyways, if you have any questions, let me know, and I will talk to you guys later, okay? Bye.